Bro, we've been talking for like 5 minutes.
I know.
Yeah.
You're talking about your sandwich. You're still eating that sandwich?
Yeah, I know, man. Who would have thought, man? We're titled our recording, and it took us this long for us to start doing damn near
Literally,
hard.
I had to ask, are we recording? And you're like, yeah, that's the name of the podcast. And I was like, no, are we recording?
Bro, that might be the longest it took us to get into an intro. We've been talking for like 10 minutes. Wasn't recording a goddamn thing on that thing. I'm crying.
Crazy.
I was like, bro, what the fuck is he doing? Like, bro.
I thought you noticed it too. I saw
No,
it
not
right
one
now.
bit.
Like,
Not one bit. I've been eating the sandwich. I'll tell you, I'm locked into the sandwich right now. But welcome back, guys, to another episode of our recording. You already know who it is. I got sandwich hands, sandwich fingers.
is that a new nickname? Sandwich Hands, Ethan Hamilton.
Sandwich hands? Fuck it.
The
I'm sandwich. I'm sandwich
the
hands.
Sandwich bandit. Stole that sandwich out of your parents' fridge.
Bro, I took over those leftovers. That's one thing you can't leave around me. Friend or family, don't leave leftovers around me. They will get devoured.
Snatched and eaten by the young Rottweiler, Mr. Ethan Hamilton. And if you don't already know, I'm Gage Sutton, 007, co-host of the Art of Recording podcast. Thank you for joining us again. We really appreciate it. If you haven't checked out last week's episode, go do that before you watch this episode. Make sure you subscribe, like, share with a friend, share with a lover. What else do we say? Goldfish.
Goldfish girl.
Yeah, your goldfish's girlfriend too.
Share it with some bad bitches. Fuck that. Share this podcast with some bad bitches. Please. Please.
Please.
Please.
But no, seriously, we appreciate all the support we've been getting on the channel. Keep sharing our page on Instagram and Twitter. Really appreciate it. It helps us grow. And yeah, man, let's get into the nitty gritty. Or are you still finishing that sandwich?
No, we can go. I won't let the sandwich distract me.
Okay, hold on. No. That's fine. I think the sandwich can distract us for a little bit while you're finishing that sandwich. Just a fun little topic to get us started. What do you think are like the best things to put on a sandwich? And what are things that you say, I won't eat a sandwich if it has this on it?
Pickles, bro. I can't eat sandwich with pickles.
Thank you. That is a great take. I am a anti-pickle hater. I hate pickles, anti-pickles. And I get so hated for it. Like, I don't get it. There's so many people who like love and will defend pickles till they die.
I like cucumbers though. That might be weird as fuck.
Yeah,
but I like cucumbers though.
No, cucumbers are good, but I think it's for me. It's the process of being just like sitting in vinegar for so long. Like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, yeah, I guess where we're at in Texas, the only place to really get a good sandwich is Subway, or like maybe you find like a mom and pop like deli shop, but like delis isn't a thing down here. So I'm excited. I'm going to New York in a couple weeks, so I'm definitely gonna get me a bacon, egg, and cheese or a chopped cheese. I'm definitely gonna get one of those.
What's this? Aki? Go to Aki.
Yeah, Aki. Bro, if I find that place, I'm gonna cry laughing.
Sure. First, you put the bacon on the grill.
Bro, he make like Fruit Loops, like egg sandwiches. I'm like, bro, crazy. What the fuck does he be making? If that's why.
That is definitely that is stoner food.
It's not even stoner food. It's like that's why people in New York are always fucking angry because they're putting Fruit Loops and like honey buns in their fucking breakfast sandwiches. Like y'all should not be eating that at like 7, 8 in the morning. Like that shit is so gross. So gross.
Okay, so what else do you not put in sandwiches? Because I've got another one. Like it's more of a condiment or a spread.
You don't like mayo?
I like mayo. Mayo's is good, just a little bit though. I don't like when you go to Subway and you say, "Hey, can I just get a little bit of mayo?" They go like squeeze the whole bottle on it, and that's gross. I can't do that. Yeah. I need it just like a nice single layer on the bread. That's nice for me. What I can't do is mustard. Mustard, keep that off my sandwich. I will literally take off the bread if it's like mustard is on the bread. Just won't eat it. I'll go.
I've grown to like mustard. I used to hate it. Like I really, really used to hate it. But now I really don't mind it not one bit. Like I'm never gonna ask for mustard, but if I get a little bit of mustard taste, a little bit, not a lot, like a little bit of that, man, like that tang, that mustard tang, because I love honey mustard. I
Mm,
love honey mustard. Honey mustard is so good. But like just normal mustard, if I get a little bit of it, I'm not too mad at it.
okay. All right. Good to know. Well, I mean, I'm sure this is why people can't click into this podcast to hear our sandwich takes, but
Exactly.
hey, this is the podcast where we'll talk about whatever we want because it's our show.
Yeah. Not
Speaking of our show, um, got to do a shameless plug here again. Please go check out our last video. We've been posting clips and segments from the podcast on our YouTube. So if you haven't checked those out, they're just short little snippets, and maybe they'll get you interested to watch the whole episode. So if you haven't checked those out, do yourself a favor. They're pretty good laughs.
absolutely. And if you guys ever have a recommended topic for us to cover or anything like that, just shout us out on Twitter or DM us and we'll try to cover it on the podcast. For example, we do this segment that is coming up called Flashback. Flashback. We give a quick, like, I don't know, 10-minute review on an album that's come out less than 2 years ago, or more than 2 years ago.
More than 2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, that we didn't really pay too much attention to, but we decided, you know what, let's double back on it and see how it sounds now.
Yeah,
And
and hey, do you want to get the show started with it? I mean,
I think so. I think
there's
we
no
should
harm in
start with
it.
that.
Hey, well, let's get right into it. We want to thank the person who suggested this album for this week, Mr. Ace Walker. Hey, shout out, Mr.
Shout out,
Ace,
Mr.
man.
Walker.
Hey, thank you again for giving us the suggestion. It was a lot of fun coming back to this album, and the album that we are talking about today, Ethan, is "Not All Heroes Wear Capes" by Metro Boomin. And man, revisiting this one was a lot of fun. It came out in 2018. So this is the year I graduated high school. This is your junior year, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I be forgetting that you're
Your
older than
junior
me.
year?
You're like a year
Yeah,
older than me. Yeah.
a year older,
Oh,
man.
that nigga.
Hey,
You and
come
Travis
on,
are old
man.
as shit.
Travis is older than me, though, right?
Travis is old as fuck. Travis is a year older than you, I think. I think Travis is a year older than you. So
Okay.
he's 2 years older
Well,
than you.
anyway, 2018. That was the year that I was graduating high school, and I gotta tell you, man, a lot of these songs they bring back a lot of good memories of playing football and just man, just being with my friends in high school. I don't know about you, but this album was definitely very like I say nostalgic. It was only like 5 years ago, right? Or what is it now? 6 years, 7 years?
Damn, so yeah, 6 years.
Yeah, six
On
years.
6.
Um, and it still holds up, man. I think Metro Boomin, he's amazing. Like this album was just the start of his awesome like rollout of albums, and yeah, I don't know what else to add.
I think this album is a good like place marker because I feel like this is when Metro kind of graduated in from becoming like just a producer to like a producer artist and kind of dipped his toes in that like commercial lane, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
so because that album you have features from 21 on there, Future on there, if I'm not mistaken, and it's kind of like the prelude for what he was going to set up for the next 60 years, right? Because this week, whenever we're recording this a little late, so this will come out like a couple days before the Metro and Future album. But this is like the first step. You know when you have Pokemon and you had the first evolution, this is kind of the
yep.
first evolution of this. And then you have a bunch of the 21 projects, and then him coming back to Future like this, because they're gonna do a double disc. It just
Hmm.
very much see the groundwork for a lot of the stuff that he implements in later collab albums and just songs in general. Like I feel like he's kind of been known as like the new age guy when it comes to transitions, very smooth transitions at the beginning and end of songs. And seeing that work on this project was really, really dope to see.
Yeah, especially the transition from "Overdue" into "Don't Come Out the House"
Yeah.
is so good. But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of great tracks on this album, and I 100% agree with what you were saying, dude, about Metro
10
and
Freaky Girls
like
on
that.
this album too.
So
Sleeper.
good, so good,
Sleeper.
so good. But no, I definitely I agree with you. There's definitely been an evolution to Metro and the way he like puts out albums, and that actually brings me to like a question for you about Metro's albums and his discography. Do you think you prefer his collab albums with like just a single artist, so the Savage Modes or the Double or Nothing with Big Sean, um, or do you think that he is hitting better with these albums where he's doing multiple artists on the album, like multiple features? You know what I mean?
I think he definitely. I prefer the albums when he's with one singular artist. Not saying I don't like his albums with a compilation of other rappers on there, but I definitely prefer him locked in a booth with an artist, being able to create a sound, create a theme, create an environment within that album. And that's what makes me honestly so excited for this new Future album coming out this week. Is that, bro? It's been almost, what was it, 2 years since the last Future album came out? What was the name of the last Future
Yeah.
album? I loved it.
Yeah, it was I Never Liked You,
I
and
never
that one
liked to
came out in
love that Future album.
2022.
I
Yep,
still think it was one of the
2022.
albums of the year, and it came out early January too. And this is still being like, I guess, right before springtime or right before summertime. It makes sense that Future and Metro are going to drop, but I think they're absolutely going to smoke this album.
Yeah, I'm excited. We obviously know what we're getting from Future and Metro. His resume speaks for himself, man. I'm ready to hear what this collab album is going to look like, what it's going to sound like with this 2-pack too. I don't know what what entails of it. Are we going to see two different sides, two different like styles of production? I
I
don't
think
know.
they said that the first one is going to be no features,
Mm,
and the second one is going to be features, if I'm not mistaken.
that'd be cool.
But what I'm really excited for is the messiness, because in the past year, Metro has had some static with Drake over just, I guess, being jealous of the success that his Drake's album Her Loss had over Heroes and Villains. Even though I probably prefer Heroes and Villains, I mean, it's a Drake album. He's always going to do all the numbers. But also Future static with Drake, because I remember the time when Her Loss came out. It was reported that Future didn't like that he went and did a collab album with 21 Savage. I possibly because he had What a Time to Be Alive with Future, and Future felt like, well, if you're gonna do a collab album with anybody, let's run it back with What a Time to Be Alive too. And so I don't think it's a coincidence that, yeah, those two are a great duo together, like before all this messiness with Drake. But I don't think it's a coincidence that now they're like, all right, bet, let's do a collab album together.
Okay, so you think there might be some beef on this album? You think there might be some shots thrown?
I think I'm all for the mess, and I think 1,000% Future is gonna send shots at Drake on this album, because let's be honest, Metro's a producer. He's
Yeah.
not really gonna send disses except for like in tweets or tweet and deletes
Hey,
like he did. But I think Future 1,000% is gonna send shots towards Drake.
hey,
Maybe
the
some
production is just
subliminals.
as important too, man. The production is just as important too. Metro could put on some crazy beat to give Future just the platform to drop some crazy shit on the
Yeah, if
world
he
about
does
Drake.
that, because you know what is it called? I thought it was a drought is about Scottie Pippen, or allegedly is about Scottie Pippen and Larsa Pippen. So
Wait,
if
what
he,
song?
I thought it was a drought. You didn't know
Oh,
that?
really? No.
Yeah, yeah, because it comes from the story that Future, when he was young, wanted an autograph from Scottie Pippen, and he didn't give it to him. So later, when he got older, allegedly in quotations, he slept with Larsa Pippen, and that's what that song is about.
Wow.
So
That's
what I'm saying,
crazy.
yeah, yeah, I just fucked your bitch in some Gucci flip flops is about allegedly Larsa Pippen. So I think, don't let Future, because all these rappers share girlfriends and side chicks. You know what I'm saying? So don't let Future make one of those about Drake.
It will
Like a
not
hit, like a
feature.
hit, like a hit like that. Cause I think Drake out raps Future for sure if they try to do a diss off. I don't think Future like would ever do a diss off with Drake, like diss off or like a rap battle with Drake. But he can make a hit. He can make a hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'm
I
interested to
think
see if he does that subliminal route like he did with I Thought It Was a Drought.
yeah, it's gonna be really exciting to see. Excited for the album. Metro and Future coming this Friday. And we'll definitely talk about the album and review it here on the channel. So again, if you're not
Next week,
subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Next week, we will be talking about it for sure.
what kind
And
of features
also
do you
got
want to
to
hear on the album?
That's interesting. I haven't really
Because
thought about it because I mean, so you're kind of saying there's no chance at a Drake feature here.
I think zero chance we get a Drake feature on
Zero
this album.
chance.
Zero.
Okay. All right. I am gonna just throw a couple names out there. A few that I'd like to see work with Future.
Let's
Um,
get the obvious out the way that we're probably gonna hear. Let's get the obvious out the way.
who do you want to go first?
21 Savage. No, 21 Savage is not gonna be on this album. I'm gonna say the obvious out the way. I think we're gonna hear Travis Scott.
Little Baby.
I'll say Lil Baby. I think we'll hear a Baby verse. I think we'll hear Playboy Cardi. I think I've already heard a snippet of it on Twitter. There's a Playboy Cardi and Travis and Future song on the album.
Mm. What
I
about
think those.
Yeet?
I'm not mad at it if we hear Yeet feature. I'm not mad.
Hey, what if Future gets a little crazy? I mean, if the second half of it is like to include features and like get kind of experimental with the production, why not bring Tizo into the studio for a song?
I'm not mad at a Tizo Future song.
Hey, and Metro, woo, they might be cooking with something.
You know who else would be cooking on the album? Donnie T.
Ooh.
Donnie
Oh
T.
yes, give me Don
Donnie
Toliver on
T.
this Future.
Because we're getting a Don Toliver album soon this year. He's already dropped 2 singles for it. They both been fire.
Hey,
I think
congratulations to Don Toliver and Kali Uchis for their baby too.
I'm a hating ass nigga. No congratulations coming from me.
No
However,
congratulations here.
nah.
Hey,
All jokes aside. All jokes aside.
Hey, Callie's fine though. I will say
Fantastic. She looked fantastic.
she
But
looked great.
Donnie T on this album, he's gonna smoke it. If he's on this album, I think he's gonna smoke it.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I think those all sound like pretty good, like realistic options. I think I have one that's a little out there, just because I don't know what his relationship with this rapper is going to be, but he has a good reputation with Metro Boomin. What if we get a preview of the JID Metro Boomin project with the JID feature?
Honestly, a JID feature on a Future album would be
Would
big
be
for him.
weird. Would be weird too.
How could it be weird?
No, I mean like weird to see like I guess these two artists come together because like do you think that JID would do something like this and build up for his album with Metro?
1,000%. If Future and if Metro came up and be like, hey, we got a song, me and Future got a song for you on this joint right here. Like, you think you can slide in? JID would 1,000%.
Oh,
You
he
don't
would
think JID
body
would
it.
take
No, he
not
would
even
body it. Don't
body,
get me wrong.
like,
I know
but
he
I'm
would
saying
body
he
it.
would 1,000% take the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he would be on a Future album, but he could be. I mean, Surround Sound like blew up. Like, I mean, we all know how great it was when the album came out and when it dropped as a single before his last album, The Forever Story.
Yeah.
But dog, like a month, 2 months ago, like the beginning of the year, it was the #1 single because it blew out
Yeah.
on TikTok. So I could 1,000% see it.
Well, maybe hey, I would love to see it too, man. I think Future and JID could cook up something crazy, but I guess time will tell. We will see on Friday and we'll see what Metro and Mr. Future have in store for us, but Mr. Hendrix, I should say. But
Yeah,
speaking of
because
dissing
think about
people,
it. The last time he dropped a double disc, it was that Future and Hendrix project, and
yeah,
that both those albums.
hey.
Yuck. For our audio listeners, I'm draining threes like this. My form is fantastic. I got to tuck my elbow in a little bit more, but form is fantastic. But so I'm here for a double album from Future and
And
Metro, 1,000%.
absolutely. And we'll see if Future disses Drake. But speaking of disses, I want to get one real quick off off the docket that we can talk about
Who
here.
you had a diss?
No, I'm not gonna diss anybody.
Oh,
I
okay.
saw a diss on my Twitter.
I was ready for you to jump out the window. I was like, shit,
No,
where
no,
the fuck
no,
we
no,
going?
no.
Gage finally go diss somebody. I'm like, I'm here. Who we dissing?
Hey, not today, man. As soon as as soon as I have someone to diss, you will be the first to know, and we're bringing
Okay,
it on the spot, all right?
say less. Say
But
less.
our our cousin of the tribal chief, acknowledge him, Roman Reigns.
Boy, I've been ready to press you about this all week.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson came out on Friday Night SmackDown. Everyone, this is the part where they're like, oh, these guys are talking about wrestling again. Well, guys, The Rock dissed Ja Morant on SmackDown this week.
That shit was so out of pocket. He was in Memphis.
So out of pocket.
He tried to cover it back by being like, "I love you, Ja. I love you, Ja." Right afterwards, it's like, man, Hollywood Rock got to stay at 10 toes in there.
Hey, literally. No, what did you think of that segment, man? Because
I loved it.
I love seeing Rock come back to his Hollywood, like Hollywood arc and singing songs too, playing the guitar. It's classic.
No, he smoked it. I loved it too. Like, because he's basically been emanating that Hollywood Rock energy ever since he came back into the Tribal Chief, Cody Rhodes storyline. The one complaint I have had, I know this is gonna sound crazy for me. It's gonna sound crazy for me, but it seems that Roman is like 100% being overshadowed by The Rock.
I mean, okay, so
because since The Rock is announced, I can't remember a memorable segment or a line or a moment that Roman has had in this iteration of this the Bloodline story. Not saying he doesn't have it at all. Since Rock has come back and inserted himself in this, the moments have been between Rock and Cody. Never Roman and Cody. If anything, Roman's shooting at Seth more than he is shooting at Cody.
That's what I was gonna say.
But yeah, I don't like it. The story is gonna be between Roman and Cody. So let's, like, Seth can be there, cool. But let's not mix it too much of the two. Let's really not. Because all we really care about is Roman and Cody. And the fact is, you can't remember a single line that Roman has sent to Cody since The Rock has joined the story. The Rock has Lil Bro Roman. He really has. I know your Tribal Chief got Lil Bro.
No, but The Rock acknowledged him. What do you mean he got Lil Bro?
You saw that finger. No, you forget that finger. Who that finger was pointing at?
Acknowledged.
That finger was pointing at somebody.
My Tribal Chief. All right, and here and the thing is, I agree with you to some degree, but the thing is, this is the buildup that's been happening for 2 years, dude. Like, they don't really need much more from the Roman Cody thing until we get a little closer. Right now, the way I see it is, okay, we got to get Rock on TV. We got to give him more of a reason to be like actually invested in this feud, and it's working. Everyone is loving Rock. Bringing him back and making it a tag team match was the best decision they could have made. Wrestling's fun again. We say that every week. Check it out. But yeah. I wanted to focus on the diss on Ja Morant. Like that was so funny, so out of pocket. I was like,
it reminds me of old wrestling
in Tennessee too. Yeah,
them come bringing in like the fourth wall. Like, it makes me think of like just moments like that. Like, I know this isn't a funny moment, but John Cena breaking the fact that the U.S. government killed Osama bin Laden on Monday Night Raw is still unironically one of the funniest things I've ever like looked back on and be like, wow, they really did that on national TV. Like, if that happened now, I would have been in tears laughing.
Bro, you would have thought that John Cena was the one who killed Osama bin Laden.
Bro, I thought John Cena was the one that I thought John Cena killed Osama bin Laden for the longest time. I was like, bro, why did
John Cena comes out of the entrance with like the night vision goggles and the whole SWAT suit?
Because if you think about it, bro, none of us was watching CNN. And if I'm being honest, the news probably broke on Raw before it did on CNN that Osama bin Laden like was killed. So I 1,000% believe it. Like, dude, I like when wrestling does that. It breaks the fourth wall. Like the whole AJ Styles and LA Knight storyline. I'm fuming that LA Knight's not gonna get a title shot. The streets. This wrestling is. Don't come watch wrestling no more because I'm almost done. I'm not watching this shit no more. LA Knight don't get a fucking title shot for fucking what? Just give him a belt already. Give him the belt as far as I'm concerned. Nonetheless, but. Just the whole him and that weak ass motherfucker AJ Styles, like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that, not one bit. But I do want to see LA Knight break it to AJ Styles home, like on some old school like Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero type beat. Like, I want to see that. I want to see something like that. Like, when wrestling breaks the fourth wall like that, it's so interesting and it's so entertaining and captivating that we need it more. I think that's the final little step they have right now. Because even Travis Scott showed up to the Houston show.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, him and Triple H did the old finger point picture thing. Yeah, I loved it. I do that in every one of my pictures now.
That's crazy. I did not know Travis Scott was a WWE guy. Very cool.
I feel like every one of us are. I gotta give a shout out to especially rappers like shout out Wale and West Side Gun because they've been
What's that
on
gun?
wrestling.
Hey
Nah,
yo.
Wale too, like Wale like with his own Wale Mania type beat. Like I gotta give shout outs to them. But no, I'm with you. Those two storylines, especially the Hollywood Rock officially coming back. I
Yeah.
do love his
And
promos too. Sometimes I wish his promos like on social media before SmackDown or Raw go on air, they were actually on SmackDown or Raw.
they're just so long. Like he posts
They're like
like
8
all
minutes
these
long.
long. This is the IG reel of him just talking shit about Cody or Seth. It's so good.
What do you say? Fuck your story. He was talking shit about his mom and his dog. I was crying. And Cody's like, nobody talks about my dog. I said, my wrestler's back, man.
This is John Wick ass. Well, yeah, I think it is. I won't get into it too much. I'm also devastated that Gable didn't win the
Yeah,
qualifier. They
that's
need
what
to
you
make that a
fucking get.
triple threat match.
No, they don't. No, they don't. If LA Knight doesn't
Yes,
get
they
it, I
do.
don't want to hear nothing from Chad Gable. Nothing. Nothing, man.
Well, you want to put a belt on LA Knight. I want to put a belt on Chad Gable. I think we both want to put the people on. What
That
did you
was a good
say?
segue. I thought it was gonna turn. I thought I was gonna have to use a pause when you kept saying put belts on people. I was like, "This is gonna be a pause thrown in here." I'm ready for it. Like I'm like just jumping at it. Pause. There it is. There it is. But
There's your pause. But see, that was a pretty good transition, wouldn't you say?
that was a pretty good transition. So what you got? Oh, we gotta do a singing. Ready? Fix your voices.
Yeah, hold on. Wait, hold on. Yeah. La 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 la.
Do re
All right.
do re mi fa so. No, I fucked it up. All right. Let's lock in. Let's lock in.
Yeah, I know
Right
we,
here.
we probably have like actual musicians hearing us and they're like, this is
All
awful.
right, we got to do the put you on. So lock in.
All right.
Ready? Let's try to hit it at the same time. Put you
Put you
on.
on.
You went so
Hey,
late,
no,
man.
no, I
Come
was like right
on.
there with you.
No, you weren't. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. We'll see this in post. 1,000% you weren't there with me. A
All right,
thousand
maybe I
percent.
wasn't. Maybe I wasn't. It could be the delay. One of us is lagging a little bit. I don't know.
I think
maybe
our viewers can guess which one Brian is.
let's just say it's probably not me, but all right. Do you want to start with music or movies this week?
Let's start with music.
Okay. Do you want to go first or do you want me to?
That's all you, Playboy.
All right, man. I'm gonna take it with Black Atlas. The name of the song is "Losing Love." He's an artist signed to EXO, the Weeknd's label, and he released a new album last year, I believe. And yeah, one of the really good songs off of it, "Losing Love."
What's the vibe? What's the sound like?
He signed to EXO, so like very R&B, very like Weeknd, dark, synthy,
New
kind of
Weekend or
pop.
old Weekend?
Kind of like old Weekend. Like so, I would say I say synth pop. I probably should have stayed away from that. This is more like of the atmospheric, like darker, like Weekend of like Kissland, House of Balloons, that kind of stuff.
Okay, I check it out. Are you excited for Party's album? Or are you not a big Party Next Door fan? You would seem like you like it the Weekend and not like it Party Next Door is weird to me.
So I mean, I like Party Next Door. I just don't think he has like the discography that the Weeknd has, in my opinion. Like I think Party Next Door has some good albums.
No. I'm talking about the sound of him. Like you not liking Party Next Door is different because he sounds more like old Weekend than anybody, and he sounds better in some respects. Like I definitely see how people because he's definitely stayed within his sound more than the Weeknd, except for the last album where he basically did a Young Thug impression for about 12 tracks. But
yeah, that was interesting. But yeah, I don't know. I like Party Next Door. I'm excited for his album. There was just something about him. I think it was just because I feel like he never really got the push that he needed. Like he had some good promo, had some good songs that were popular, but I don't know. I just never really caught the caught the sickness like I did with the Weeknd. I don't know. House of Balloons and
I think Party's supposed to come at the end of the month too. Maybe is it next? Check real quick, but I think it's supposed to be next week as well.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Because I know he was at South by in Austin this past week, and I had some friends go and they sent me some videos, and the set looked pretty dope. Set looked pretty dope. I'm not the
Oh man,
biggest Party Next Door fan, but
I'm so
I'm
jealous.
excited for his album.
Jarrett's got to meet Tizo Touchdown too.
I know, right? Like that was really dope of him. He's really on his photography type shit. His music.
Literally.
That's his new character arc in his anime, his life anime.
Let's see when Party Next Door is dropping this album. But while I figure that out, what is your music suggestion for the week?
Okay, well, I have a bond with the guys in the group chat because we've all have this running joke about waiting for the new almighty album from Chief Keef. But surprisingly, we got a Chief Keef and Mike Will Made It collab album or collab mixtape this week called Dirty Nachos. That is fire. Absolutely fire. And there's a couple songs off that album that I really like that I don't think it gets. Like, I'm surprised nobody's talked about this album. Like, it's very much a really dope album. Like, some of my favorite tracks off there are Dirty Nachos, the title track, Two Time, Doja, Pull Up Ghost Clan with 2 Chainz. I like Girl Woo. It's a little too long, but I do like Girl Woo. This is a really dope project. Like in 2024, you would have told me that Chief Keef and Mike Will would have put out another great project. I would 1,000% believe it. Them two are legends. And that was it. There's a lot of good music too. You had the Gunna and Offset song, Proud of Them. Offset smoked his verse. It makes me really excited for this Gunna album. I think we're gonna get soon.
Yeah, Gunna's coming soon too. Do you think Gunna has like, I don't want to say redeemed himself in the eyes of hip hop, but like, do you think artists are going to be like on his album again?
Yeah, I mean, look at Offset. This is his first feature since the whole Young Thug,
Like
did he
Young
snitch
Thug
or did he
scandal,
not?
yeah.
Yeah, I think 1,000%. I mean, I think the green light was last year him having that great album, The Gift and the Curse, and a lot of artists being like, "All right, we'll see if we can do this by himself if he still will stay hot." And honestly, he was bigger than he ever was. So I think 1,000% he's gonna get the push by some artists to start collabing with him. I mean, Offset's the first one. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him on a future album. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Yeet feature, and I don't think we'll see a Baby feature, but nah, that was another good song. What other albums do we have? Tierra Whack. I'm on my second listen on Tierra Whack's Worldwide Whack. Really dope project. 15 tracks. 40 minutes. Pretty good. If you're into
Yeah, I
that.
haven't checked out Tierra Whack.
Smino, Rhapsody.
Smino dropped an album too?
No. I'm talking about that line of music for people who haven't heard of Tierra Whack.
Oh, okay.
Tierra Whack is very talented rapper. And she makes really dope music.
Yep, I agree. I haven't checked out her new album yet, but I would definitely will now that I know that she has released it. All right, do you want to take the lead for movies and TV shows?
1,000%. I actually have beef with one of our TV shows.
Oh, okay. Is it beef? So you're not putting it on?
I'm putting it on, but I'm also like, I'm watching you type shit. Like,
okay.
Because Invincibles, me and Xavier was on Invincibles season 1 before it came out for like 3 months. We was telling everybody like this show's gonna be the one. This show's gonna be the one. And me and Xavier take full credit for putting everybody onto Invincible. We had season 1. Everybody's in love with it. You've seen season 1 of Invincible, right?
Mm-hmm.
Season 2. It's been 2 years. Season 2 premiered early or later, late of last year, like in November. They dropped the first 4 episodes. Then they said they're going on another hiatus again till last week was when the newest episode dropped. And then they only have 3 more episodes till the end of the season. And I came to tell, it was the dumbest thing ever. They've absolutely ruined the hype of this season of Invincible. And it reminds me a lot of what happened with Atlanta the last 2 seasons. Atlanta, I'm going to give it a pass because of what happened with COVID. But like going this long without breaks of TV shows, especially when it was reportedly the show was already done, produced this time last year. So
yeah,
they've definitely stunted a lot of the promise, momentum. That's the word I was looking for. Momentum that the show had. I feel the show is still great, and it's still like gonna be pop off, especially towards the end of this season and the upcoming like 2-3 seasons. But damn, it's like nobody's talking about it at all, and it's in the middle of its second season. But it's the first episode did drop, so for those who probably didn't know that it was came back already, which I think a lot of people are gonna watch to be like, "Oh, Invincible's back on." There you go, Invincible's on Amazon Prime season 2. Watch season 1 if you haven't watched it, amazing. But season 2 is back on.
All right, great one. Yeah, season 1 was awesome. I was waiting for season 2 to like finish because that's normally how I watch shows. Is I wait for the finish or it's for the season to finish before I start watching it.
Are you a binger?
So yeah, I think I like to sit down and like watch as many episodes as I can in one sitting, and then like just keep doing that. It's a lot easier for me to do that than like sit down, watch one a week, and be like, okay, this is the day I watch it. But I don't know. Maybe I'll switch my viewing habits. I was able to watch a lot of movies this week. So for my put you on, I watched 2 Oscar-nominated movies. Or actually, I think one that won Oscars.
You watching with Dylan?
Yeah, Dylan was in town, so we watched some movies. Shout out to Oppenheimer, which won a bunch of Oscars. Obviously, great movie. I watched it for the first time. Missed the whole Barbenheimer trend. I was out of town, so I didn't get to see it. But Oppenheimer was very good. I also watched Jojo Rabbit for the first time. Very good movie. Have you seen Jojo Rabbit?
Yeah, I've seen it. But a long time ago.
Yeah, it's a good one. Definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. And the movie I'm going to recommend, it's an old one too, one that I had never seen before, but I'm on my Denzel Washington kick right now because I watched Training Day.
Look at you, supporting Black excellence. Who would have thought?
Hey, Training Day, Denzel Washington. That's the one, man. That movie came out in 2001, but yeah, it holds up. It's very good. Definitely had me on the edge of my seat the whole time. I was kind of confused too. I was like, man, Denzel Washington is like, he's a good guy. He's trying to get him straight. I won't say anything else.
Training Day is a classic. It took you this long to watch Training Day?
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I had never seen it. Like it just I had it on my list on my letterbox, and Dylan did too. So when we were looking through the movies of like which one we should watch, saw Training Day, and I was like, actually, I've never seen Training Day. We need to watch it. So yeah, 2001 Training Day. It's an old movie, but obviously,
it is fantastic.
Seen it. Classic.
I know, but well, that's our put you on for the week. Let us know if we put you on. If you end up listening or watching anything we recommend y'all, please add us on y'all's Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Shout us out, and we'll retweet you back. This next topic is kind of breaking news. When this episode comes out, the first episode of LeBron James and J.J. Redick's like Basketball Minds podcast will have dropped, and I'm excited for this. Like, we've been clowning athletes for like having podcasts, especially being in season. But LeBron James, still one of the biggest artists, one of the biggest athletes in the world, is coming out with a podcast. That's how you know the end is near. The end is near for Bronny.
I mean, I don't know. I think he sees that obviously his career is coming to an end. But he sees that so many guys can do it and play. I mean, we see Draymond Green do it. We saw Micah do it in the NFL. I think it's a great move for LeBron. I think that podcast is going to be some super intriguing stuff with him and J.J. Redick. Yeah, I'm just excited to hear what they can put together. And
I think it's going to be very much.
I'm excited to see the side of LeBron too, because like we know how goofy LeBron can be. I want to see like what side of him this podcast brings out, because like you said, it's a lot of analytic, like basketball.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very basketball at X's and O's centric, because as an avid LeBron hater, you can't knock the fact that he's probably has one of the best basketball minds that have ever lived, and so to see if he's able to articulate himself in a way that like artists and other athletes are going to be able to, other athletes and the audience are going to be able to resonate with, is going to be amazing to watch. Because I don't honestly, I'm interested to see how long they keep this going. Like, is it going to be a thing where it's like they do it every single week? Is it going to be a thing where they drop it? Because so far, when they announced it's going to be a weekly podcast, right?
Mm.
I don't know how long it's going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if it stops after like 10 episodes.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. It'll be interesting to see because, like I said, I think LeBron sees that like other athletes do it, and he probably thinks, "Oh yeah, I can, close out a couple hours of my week to record a podcast with JJ and put it out to the public like we do. Are we recording?" Uh, but I mean, it's completely different too. LeBron is playing basketball in the league, trying to make a playoff push. What's going to happen when he goes zero dark 30? Like, he can't be on the podcast talking X's and O's
Exactly.
when he's in playoff mode. So yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I think there's definitely some like hesitation to think that this is going to be like a long term thing. But even if it's just 10 episodes or it is a continued thing, uh, we're getting some awesome basketball content. Like that's all it comes down to is we're getting one of the best basketball players. Actually, I will go off that ledge and say the best
I'm
basketball
muting
player
up.
of
I'm muting
all
up.
time, giving his beautiful mind on like what basketball is, what's happening in basketball. I can't wait, man. I'm ready. What's the name of the podcast? Because it should be JJ and the King.
Honestly, I would like to apologize to our YouTube viewing audience. I'd like to apologize to our audio listeners on Spotify and Apple Podcasts for the absolute glazing that Gage just did for LeBron. That was some nasty work. Like, Gage, I need you to get up. I need you to wipe your mouth. I need you to say thank you
You're
to your
stupid,
king because that was some nasty ass shit you just fucking did.
bro.
JJ
Hey,
and the King. Shut up.
JJ and the King.
Shut,
That's
shut
hey,
the hell up,
the
man.
greatest basketball player of all time. There's no denying it
My
anymore. I'm tired of
God.
hearing the old heads say it's Michael Jordan. Please,
We're not
please
we're not
stop it.
we're not we're not doing this, not today. But I'm with you. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if this stems from the podcast is called Mind the Game.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they're cooking with that for sure.
Well, I think it's the big thing too is that, like, you remember a couple of weeks ago I made a TikTok about it, about how JJ was kind of fed up with like the whole like first take, hot take culture. And he had that get back and forth a little bit, kind of indirectly with Nick Wright, where Nick Wright was basically like, well, you joined the space. And
Yeah.
how are you going to act like this when you join the space? And I 1,000% agree with him because I agree with JJ's overall sentiment with first take and hot take culture. Is that it's so black and white, and we're at a point now where it's been probably going on for a little over 15 years. It's so like exhausting because a lot of the topics aren't really new. A lot of the evidence and talking points aren't new at all. They're just rehashed. But I'm with also Nick Wright when he says, you knew this when you joined. So don't join the
Yeah.
space. Don't take the benefits from it. Don't take the image and the look that it gives you and then should completely shit on it. And I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised if LeBron heard what JJ said and was like, all right, let's cook up something. I really wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome to see because especially for sports content, for basketball and football, I really like more of the unbiased, more people who are just like just enjoyers of the game, not really trying to like get off any narratives. That's why I like Kenny Beecham so much, King of the Fourth Quarter. Shout out him, man. Shout out Kenny. Kenny's the goat. One of the people who influenced me to like start doing this YouTube podcast stuff. Uh, he's always done a really good job of just like remaining neutral, looking at the game from a just like a fun. That's what sports is supposed to be. They're supposed to be fun. We can have these debates and we can have these arguments, but it doesn't always have to be just yelling at each other on live TV for 15 minutes with no like actual substance or evidence to back up your arguments.
I'm with you. I think it doesn't leave it like, but that's one of the biggest issues with first take culture. It doesn't leave a lot of room for nuance.
Yeah.
But I think this is a perfect example of like what Nick Wright was saying. It's like, all right, well, or a lot of people that support first take and hot take culture is like, all right, well, if you want to do this analytical, like holier than thou, you're better than us. Let's do the smart people type podcast. Well, you have LeBron James. There is no excuse for this to fail. Like, let's see if you jump after it. Like, if this doesn't work, let's see if you try to jump back to first take. And that's what
Yeah.
I'm looking to watch.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see because there's obviously a lot of money in the first take and all of the crazy opinions, crazy hot takes. But if JJ really thinks that this is the way to go, like you said, there's no excuse. He's got the biggest basketball player, the best basketball player of all time with him on a podcast. Um, there's really no way that this should fail at attracting basketball fans. So I'm interested to see how it's going to like debut on YouTube. I think it's going to do crazy numbers if I had to guess, but
Oh, I
hey,
think the first episode, like I said, the first couple episodes are going to do crazy numbers because it's going to be like, oh my gosh, they're there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the new episode buzz. But episode 6, 7, I'm going to see if they still stick with it. I'm really going to see. Let's see
yeah,
if LeBron isn't bored with it. Let's see if he's feeling fulfilled from it. Let's see if JJ's seeing like the monetary return that they probably invested. They probably put a bunch of money into this. So we'll see. We'll really see. Because it seems so. We haven't watched the first episode yet, like we said. And probably when this episode drops on Wednesday, the first episode would have already dropped. You guys will have your own opinions on it. But they seem to very much be hitting into the X's and O's analytical side, which is a different lane that I don't think former athletes really have tapped into. You have the Gilbert Arenases and the Jeff T. Jeff T's podcast is hilarious, by the way. That kind of
yeah.
delves in the lane of like they do some
There are more
current top.
stories.
Yeah, they're very like into storytelling and talking about the current game. But I think because both their opinions about the current game, I guess that's the weird thing about talking about former athletes about the current game when they're not talking about X's and O's, is their opinions are trash. But I guess that's the big disconnect between like people like me and you who have not played and athletes who have played. It's like, yeah, they probably don't have more credence. They definitely have more credence to say what they say than us. But I just think a lot of their opinions are garbaggio. And I
Yeah,
don't think
you
LeBron.
are.
I'll be surprised if LeBron delves into that, talking about like current games and current topics, or if he's just going to stick to X's and O's basketball talks, or even if he'll get into storytelling, telling stories about him and stuff that's happened in his career.
Yeah, I was gonna say you are a big LaShawn McCoy hater. He is one
I'm a big
athlete.
hater. I'm a big hater of former athletes. I think I've come to terms with that. I'm a big hater of former
Yeah.
athletes in this media
Well,
space.
I don't know. I hope they format the podcast in a way where LeBron doesn't really have to put himself in that position to talk about other players in a negative light. Um, because I know that's not really his game either. I don't really think that's the way LeBron wants to handle things. Um, yeah, like you said, I think it's mostly just going to be X's and O's. I think they're just going to talk about, uh, I'm sure they'll talk about the current NBA and like how things are being done, but it'll be more from a, like I said, analytical standpoint, looking at it from, a strategic standpoint rather than, oh, this guy's really good or this guy's bad.
My thing, it's not bad that our athletes do that stuff. So like, don't take it as me saying that. What I'm saying is that I feel like sometimes it's just like low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I do think it takes a lot of courage. Like, I don't want to watch a podcast where there's no conflict. I don't want to watch a podcast where nobody gives their real opinions and aren't authentic. Like, it takes nuts to go on the internet or go in public and give your opinion, whether it's asked for or not. Like, it takes cojones, it takes balls.
Yeah.
I, I don't really respect content creators that just go up there and pander and be a bunch of panda bears and say whatever people want them to say.
Panda bears. That's crazy. That's
Panda
that's
bears.
actually tough. Panda bears.
You
That's
know what
tough.
I'm saying? Like, I don't want to watch that shit. And do I think LeBron's probably gonna be like that in this podcast? Probably. That's why, as far as what I'm looking forward to LeBron, I want to hear LeBron talk about either X's and O's or give us some stories that nobody has heard before. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he'll give it
Yeah.
up like that, but who knows? Maybe JJ will bring it out of him.
Yeah, hopefully. I think JJ is a good enough podcaster to do it. I'm interested to see how LeBron makes that transition into it. And like you said, we'll see how long they stick with it and if LeBron gets bored with it. All right. Well, I think we got one more topic before we close this episode out. I want to talk about one of our one of our guys, Mr. Bruno Mars. Uh, it was announced yesterday as we record this, I believe, that he has $50 million in gambling debt. And
At the MGM?
I mean, I guess it just said $50 million in gambling debt. It might be at the MGM. I have no idea where Bruno Mars is spending his money, but people are saying he's going to be on residence in Vegas till he's like 70.
Honestly, I think a lot of these artists are in debt. I really do. So wouldn't be surprised. I don't think it's probably 50 million. I think that's a little too much, but I
That's a
wouldn't be
lot
surprised.
of money, dude. 50
I wouldn't be
million.
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a couple M's. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised. But 50 million, I
I
don't
see
know about
people.
all that.
I see people commenting on that post too. Like he's trying his hardest not to be a billionaire. That's crazy.
Yeah. Have you ever been like what's the biggest bet you've owed somebody?
And
Whether it be
see,
at a casino?
I don't bet a lot of money, man. I'm like,
don't. You know,
I try to be a smart guy. Yeah. I'll bet like 20, 25. I think the most I put into like a fantasy football season was like $100 to 1 year.
Damn, you fucking
And that
broke.
was a lot for me.
You hear that say?
Yeah, I'm broke. Yeah.
No, I think what's the most I lost? Damn, I think the most I've lost is like I think I lost 150 to Jason. Freshman year,
What'd
we
you
had
bet
this
on?
150. So me and my friend Jason, freshman year, we had this bet. This is before I became garbage at 2K. I know he's gonna say that I was always garbage on fucking 2K. That's not the reality. We had this rule, right? Where we played 10 games throughout the entire semester. 10 games, right? Whoever wins the most out of the 10 games, we put in each game. I think we put each game up for like $20. Each game was worth $20. So at the end of it, we had to play 10 games. Like it was 10 games in total, first to 5. So whoever was the first to win 5 games would split the money. Right? We did something like that. Where like every game is worth $20. Each of us were gonna play 5 games.
Okay.
So we were gonna play 10 games together. Each game was gonna be worth $20. And so I guess $100 was the bet. And the way we did it was like, all right, if I won the game, I got 20 in the bank. And if you won, it go back to being even type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It came down to like the last like week of the semester. And Jason was on 4, I was on 2. And he gave me the opportunity. This is when I should have took my fucking this was the problem with me. I'm Mr. Double Down. I should have been like, fuck it, let me just pay this nigga up the 80.
Yeah, you down 4-2, right?
Yeah, let me just pay the 80 and call it a day. But he told me, he said, hey, if we play this last game, we'll do double to nothing. If you win, it's squared. It's squared. Like I'll erase the 4 that you have and we're at 0. But if I win, you gotta pay the full amount. The $100. Instead of being a fucking like smart man to be like, man, just take the. No, it was 3-2. It was 3-2. It wasn't 4-2. It was 3-2. Instead of being a smart man and taking the 60, all right, just pay him the 60. I said, damn, I kind of like those odds. Because all I had to beat him is 1 game. Boy, I got skunked so fucking bad. I think I lost by 50 that game. And Jason got this dumbass video of me and him playing 2K that like him just laughing at me, and I look like such a dweeb in that video, and I hate seeing that video. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna put it on the screen.
I've seen that video. I think I've seen
1,000%. Jason puts it in there every single time he wants to laugh. I'm gonna put it on the screen now. But I just think I'm just like, damn, I really should have caught off that bit. I really should.
Man, if you had Bruno Mars money, do you think you'd be in a similar predicament as he is?
Definitely close. I don't bet that much, but I'm very much a double it down type of person.
Yeah. Well, remind me not to take you to Vegas. You're gonna sell me to some mobsters or something to pay off your gambling debt. Sell my kidney.
Yeah, they would definitely take your fucking kidneys.
I said you were gonna sell.
They might be cooked out. All that ganja. Allegedly.
Allegedly. All right, man. Well, is there anything else you want to tell our wonderful fans before we call this wraps?
No. Fuck y'all. I'm sorry. Here, come here. I'm sorry I said that to you. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean to say fuck y'all. Thank you guys for listening. Because if you're listening here this long, I mean your family. I kind of lashed out. I have this problem where I lash out
He only does it to people he loves. He does it to me all the time.
all the time. All the time. So that means I love y'all. I love y'all. Just take it as that. Like when I say fuck you, that means I love you.
Yeah. So fuck you from our recording.
So fuck you from our recording, man.
Nah, but it's been a great episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, if you liked it, please hit subscribe. Make sure you hit like, share this with all of your friends and family. Help us out a lot. And help the podcast grow. Help the Are We Recording Nation grow. So for the young Rottweiler, Mr. Sandwich Hands himself, Mr. Ethan Hamilton. I'm Gage Sutton 007. Thank y'all for watching another episode of Our Recording, and we will see y'all next time.
Peace.